Okay, so get this right. Today, we're diving into this wild idea, the idea of probable selves. Not just like possible versions of ourselves, but versions of us that, get this, actually exist.
Out there, somewhere.
Yeah, across probability. This is some next level stuff.
It really is.
We've got these excerpts, and they lay out this whole concept of like every decision, every path not taken, it all splits off, creating a whole different reality.
With another you living it.
Exactly. A whole other you making different choices, living a whole other life. But here's where it gets really trippy, right? The source material talks about this bleed through, like whispers from those other realities seeping into our own. Have you ever like gotten this random urge, something totally out of left field, and you're just like, where did that come from?
Totally. And that, my friend, is where things start to get really interesting. The text calls them, get this, benign intrusive impulses. These kind of like sudden urges or interests that just pop up out of nowhere.
So you're saying like those weird out of the blue thoughts, those could actually be messages from our other selves.
It's a mind-bending thought, but the text really seems to suggest that, yeah, these impulses, they might actually be coming from one of our probable selves trying to get our attention.
Give me an example. Like, how would that even work?
Okay, so the text uses this example, right? Imagine someone, just an ordinary person, never played a lick of music in their life, and suddenly they get this overwhelming urge to buy a violin.
A violin. Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. They have zero background in music, no logical reason to want a violin, but there's this pull, this undeniable urge.
And that's a probable self, calling from violin world.
Exactly. It could be a probable self, one who I as a musician, and that passion, that love for the violin, it's bleeding through, whispering to this other version of themselves.
That's incredible. I mean, if that's true, then are you saying we've all got these like hidden talents, these secret passions buried inside us, just waiting to be unlocked?
It's definitely a possibility. If we entertain the idea that these probable selves are just as real as we are, then they've got their own lives, their own experiences, right? Their own set of skills and passions.
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, this bleed through is how we tap into that. It's like this vast network of potential, all these different versions of ourselves, and we're getting these little hints, these nudges from them.
Okay, but how do we know which nudges to follow?
Yeah.
I mean, what if my probable self is like a Michelin star chef?
Yeah.
And I can barely boil water without setting off the smoke alarm?
Well, that's where we need to use a little bit of, discernment. It's not about chasing every fleeting thought, right? It's about paying attention to the ones that really resonate, the ones that light a fire in you.
So like, not the I should be an astronaut thought you have for 5 seconds.
Exactly. But that persistent whisper, that thing you keep coming back to, the one that just won't let go, that's worth exploring.
So for everyone listening, how do they start tapping into their own benign, intrusive impulses? How do they start connecting with these other versions of themselves?
It all starts with awareness, right?
You mean?
Start paying attention to those random thoughts, those urges, that little voice that says, hey, why not try this crazy thing?
Don't ignore it.
Don't. Write it down. Sit with it for a while. Ask yourself, what if this is a message from another me? A me who followed a different path.
I mean, you've always been fascinated by astronomy, right? Maybe there's a version of you out there exploring the cosmos as we speak?
Maybe. And maybe that fascination, that pull towards the stars, it's their way of reaching out.
It's a pretty incredible thought, right? To think that our potential, our true selves, might be so much bigger than we realize.
And that's the question I want to leave you with today. What if those seemingly random impulses, those whispers from within, are actually guiding us toward a richer, more fulfilling life? A life more aligned with all the incredible possibilities that exist within us. And hey, who knows, maybe even a life more in tune with all our probable selves out there, living their best lives across the vast expanse of the multiverse.
That's a wrap. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you in the next one.